So, hi everyone, I'm going to read you the Pluto pick a cards. So, it's a bit squint, but. So, welcome if you're new. My name's Claire. This channel is for empowering you to empower yourself on the twin flame journey, your inner divine feminine, your inner divine masculine. And this one in particular, I usually break it up like for each, but this one was just, pick a pile. So, if you didn't already pick one, you can pick one now. So we've got green kyanite, or A, or 1, whatever you want to say it. We've got jet for B, and then we've got rainbow hematite for C. So you can pick now if you didn't pick one before. And but I put in the community tab, so I'm going to do that more if people get involved, because I'm only going to do it if people get involved, because it's only ever like 1 or 2 people, and we're nearly at 1,000 guys, so surely we can get a few people putting a letter. But just to encourage, there's my Saturn and Scorpio getting all teacher on you. But yeah, it's like, because I love my written channeling, and I love doing these, because anybody that's followed me for the past 9 years this year, like I used to do the ABC picker cards on Facebook and Instagram all the time, and people loved them. So like I said, when I did say I would start doing this more, and then yeah, if people don't get involved on here, when I get the membership up and running, I might just move it there. You know what I mean? Because it just makes sense if for people that are really wanting to get involved, because like I said, it's not spread it, it's not giving your life history, is it? It's just putting it's just getting involved. Like, because that's what I mean. I'm understanding when people don't want to share their private shit in that in the comments, but when it comes to things like this, it's I don't know, it really just depends. It can take a lot for people to but yeah, really the point is, you do you. I do get it, because some people just don't want you even pick a letter, because then everyone can see what you pick. But like I've said to anyone in my life for years, nobody cares that much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, about like they're always more bothered about themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, and not in a horrible way. People are just really quite worried and concerned with their own lives, But I suppose with the buffer of when it's twin flames, before, when I was very young and I was naive, I would have thought that why would anybody be so invested in, trying to keep you away from someone. But as we know, they're very invested. So and that's to do with the shadow side, and we're still, well, we're this is the Scorpio full moon. I kept thinking the 23rd, but this is the Scorpio full moon. And I myself has moved through the darkness, so I was delighted to see that when it was out the woods of that bit of my chart. So I am in my strength. I'm still in my dressing gown though, because I am currently waiting on the handyman. Well, I've waited on I've waited on the handyman and an electrician. They're actually both electricians, so story of my life, waited on electricians. But so there might be a joke there about, I don't know, lots of things about the sparks and electricity and flames, just the twin flame thing. But yeah, so no, it is. He was meant to be here. They were both meant to be here hours ago, and he might have forgot. So I think I might need to text him after this. But I thought I need to fucking crack on here. But I'm just laughing, because when I said, I was like, look, I'm going to be in my jammies, right? Because this full moon's a fucker for me, and and he actually was like. He was like, when are you not? Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I'm always answering the door in my jammies, because I work from home. Do you know what I'm saying? But this is the thing where I actually would have been dressed. Like, if they'd been here when they were meant to be, I would have been like, because it's the bath that I want. Do you know what I mean? So I'm quite like frustrated. Like, I know it's like, I'm not, angry, because it's like, it's not a big deal, because I actually thought I was going to be I actually just thought I was going to be glued to my bed feeling like shit, but I'm not. I've got loads of energy. I feel like I want to organise. Like, I took but I've got millions of books, and I took them all off the shelf, and me and my niece done that actually a couple of weeks ago, and I've just left them like piled up really tall. in my room, and now like I've just got all this energy to do. So it'll probably go away again, to be honest. But yes, so that's what I thought. I'm just going to do something while I'm waiting. So, but I will read the other one. So this was the overall energy for everyone, was the Hermit, and generally that it was talking about introspection and withdrawing and going within. So a lot of you might still, I suspect a lot of you will still be there. It just so happens that the way that the Scorpio lands in my chart, for a tiny bit of it, it's, you know, my exhausted house is the way that I put it, and then the rest of it I'm in my strength. But because it's, you know, because I've got Saturn and Scorpio, sometimes it can still make me feel quite somber. But that isn't actually till later on tonight. So like I said, I might go a wee bit more into my shell again later on tonight. But right now, let's crack on and do this. So if you picked green kyanite, we have the jellyfish. So wait a minute, it's not actually. So let's see. Jellyfish. Well, I'll pause it. Right, so releasing expectation, ease, flow, and instincts. Of all the creatures in the sea, the jellyfish is a bit of an oddball. They are around 95% water and don't have a brain, heart, or bones. Without a central nervous system, they rely solely on the sensitive nerve endings at the base of their tentacles to detect touch, temperature, and the flow of the ocean. Their lack of resistance to the ocean currents enables them to navigate their underwater world with ease. Humans know more about outer space than we do about our own oceans, which is wild when you consider the fact that oceans cover 71% of the Earth's surface. There are depths in the humans that haven't been able to explore because the pressure of the ocean is so great that it crushes submarines. And yet the jellyfish has mastered the art of traversing the vast oceans, the harshness of the powerful currents to help them along their paths. So, I'm getting the feeling that this is about being a warrior. They instinctively know that resistance is futile, and if they can just embrace the flow, they will be carried far and wide. I feel like this is describing what I've just done with that full moon, because like I said, I might be feeling alright now, but the last 2 nights were rough. Yeah. When jellyfish energy is present, there is something in this wisdom that can help you now. Have you considered the needing to be in control? So remember, when I chip in and tell you my own experiences or anonymous of other people, it's going to be relevant to something to do with you. Have you considered that needing to be in control or feeling tied to a certain outcome may be holding you back? And that's really apt because Pluto and Scorpio is all about control. It's all about where we need to let go of control or where you don't. When we can embrace the current situation for what it truly is, we're freed from the chains of our expectations and the weight of stress is lifted. When we can find peace in the present and go with the natural cycles of our lives with trust, we may end up not where we expected to be, but somewhere better. Yes, so release all expectations. Definitely Divine Feminines, release all expectations. I suspect a lot of Divine Feminines are truly on the path. If you're in line with where I'm at, not everyone is, remember, because a lot of the time I'm coming from much further down the timeline in a teacher perspective, but some people that tune in, I'd say more of the people that don't talk, you're at a very similar kind of place energetically to me. But I don't know, you can not enough people get involved for me to know. I only go by what I sense and but if it goes by people that I speak to all the time in email and stuff, it's few and far between that are actually right where I am. A lot of the time I'm coming from a teaching perspective, but there maybe are a couple of people that would feel in that same place, but absolutely let go of expectation. Let go of expectation if you're the masculine too, actually, because it's different people. So further reflection, meditate on this famous quote from Bruce Lee: be like water, making its way through cracks. Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object, and you shall find a way around or through it. If nothing within you stays rigid, outward things will disclose themselves. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes a cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes a bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes a teapot. You're a teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. So on page 27, when I've finished reading that there, so I feel the 26th and the 27th, in a couple of days there might be significant for some reason. Right, so that's kyanite. And I think I'm going to read the other cards that I've pulled on the shorts for this full moon at the end of this. But we'll just see, because it depends. I'll just actually put a phone on silent. I'll put the volume down in case they ring. So, but I genuinely, honestly, I think I've been forgotten about. So that's absolutely hilarious. The electrician has forgot about me. Too funny. There's probably messages in that for other people for all I know as well, but there's a message in that for me. Gazelle. So, oh, banter. Right, so, Gazelle. 84. I'm only saying that because when that happened, I don't know, it was last year or the year before, and why did you not tell me, pal? Right, so, meaning. Oh, wow. Gazelle is, look, separation, walking away, endings, and Scorpio is endings. The arrival of this card may not be a welcome sight, my friend, but its meaning cannot afford to be minced. Whenever Gazelle energy is present, it's time to walk, or maybe even run away, be it from a belief, a situation, or possibly even a person. So, is this about karmic endings, or is this about needing to spend time away from your twin flame if there's too much codependency there? The only reason I'm saying that is because, and remember, you don't need to actually be physically in their life, seeing them a lot or talking to them a lot for it to be codependent. I've spoken about this loads, that there was a time in my life that I realised there was codependency there towards mine, and I just would never have saw that before. It was a blind spot, because like, how can you be codependent when you're not at 11:44, when somebody's not in your life anymore? But you can. So I'm not going into the whole big spiel about that again, but if you need help with that, if you can book a personal session, but or watch when I spoke about these things before. But this, yeah, so it could be karmic endings for some, or it could be where you realise there's codependency with a twin flame. And that's really clever, because I was going to talk about that in a bigger video that I do, but I'm probably not going to be doing another video other than this. Well, I might be. I probably will be, actually, but not on camera. But anyway, the point is, I watched the last After film last night. I watched the two of them because I knew it was going to be a rough night, and because it is just very Plutonian, and these are the Pluto cards, and Scorpio full moon ruled by Pluto. For the people that don't know, I just have to repeat that. But anyway, the point is the last two the second last one is definitely about codependency, and it's just showing you, when you're hanging on too tight, how you start dragging each other under. And again, that's like water, emotions. It's all relevant to this. And then the last one, I won't go into all of what it's about, but the last one is about how they both heal themselves from the codependency, which is being being away from each other. And like I said, it's extremely, it's that's why I watched it. It's brilliant if you need a good cry and you need to purge energy, it's brilliant, because it is just, like I get, when I watch it, you can tell that's why they get me to channel about films in particular and songs, because I get so serious, I get so into it, right? Because it's like, I really, I was fighting about it when I was watching it. It's just kind of like, you feel so invested in their connection, because you can see it's not healthy. You know what I mean? You can see you can see there's just so much chemistry and love and care and everything. They really do support each other through, like, their inner child stuff and that too. But it's not, yeah, you can just, it isn't healthy. It gets to the point where it's not healthy and you drag each other under, and that's why it's so twin flames. But like I've said before about that film, it can be at certain points, if you don't watch all 5 of those films, you could be like, wow, this is like really fucking karmic and toxic. And again, but that's they're getting me to talk about this because that's Pluto and Scorpio. It is, it is the darkness. And like I've said before, you don't need me to tell you if you've got Pluto and Scorpio at any degree. But if you've got the earlier kind of degrees like me, remember mine's is 0 degrees, I know all about this. And we're in the 12th house. That's why I'm an expert at spotting covert like behavior, obvious, not so obvious, subtle manipulation, any of the dark side, basically. Do you know what I mean? Any of the stuff where somebody's been a tricky fucker in your life, basically, like, frenemies, more it would be, or 1444. Any shady stuff that other people don't see, that can take years for it to unravel, for people to be like, fuck, I wish I'd listened to Claire about that. That's what I'm good at seeing. But as you can hear, it's not, and there's just umpteen million examples of anyone in my life where that has been the case. And it's just, yeah, it's the downside of being a seer, is being able to just get a sense and really see things that other people can't see. And definitely, so you'll probably be really resonating with that if you've got Pluto and Scorpio, but maybe not so much in the same way. Like, so for instance, some of you will have Pluto and Scorpio, but it'll be in a different house. But whatever the house is in, you'll be able to be really good at that. But also you'll get shit on. Like, so mine happens to be in the 12th house. So yeah, I do get a lot of hidden enemies, frenemies, like just people, yeah, coming out of nowhere and stabbing you in the back kind of shit. Like, you know, so it's really horrible, but it's just I'm used to it. But like I said, I always I keep being myself. I keep being myself because I must have signed up to endure this. And thank God I have got so many amazing earth angels around me and amazing people that are like, you know, that there's absolutely no doubt in my mind, and they're like amazing people. But at one point it's kind of like, you know, I've had experiences where I would have thought the same, and then people can surprise you. So it's unfortunate that, you know, I've only got one eye open. That's been a Scorpio rising. So whatever fucking hell, but all of that's coming out of this card. All of my experiences and what I've helped people is coming out of this card. So that is really relevant to this. Like, so if that feels more karmic, what I'm talking about, but you'll know whatever this is. It's time to leave a situation. It's time to walk away. It's time for a toxic situation to end. And the devil did come out for the film, and I will read it, you know, or if they come to the door, I'll pause it. But that's going to mean something, actually. If they actually end up coming to the door while I'm doing this, that's probably going to be symbolic of like either a toxic karmic energy, karmic lover, karmic friend, somebody that keeps coming, family member, whoever, that keeps trying to come back into your life, and you're codependent, so you let them. Or it's like, you know, if you break up from somebody but you don't like being alone, so you end up getting back with them, and it's not because it's true love, it's because it's codependency. You don't like being alone and it's familiar. And like you said, whether it's in love or friendships or family, I've helped people with all of these scenarios, and I've also been experienced all of these things myself too. But it's when you love yourself more and you love yourself unconditionally, like I said the other day, you won't accept less for yourself. You'll walk away from these situations. So, and like I've said before, in extreme cases as well, not even extreme, like when it's not, when it's like that film and you're being toxic to one another, um, you will, you will be guided to walk away, like spend time away from your twin flame too, because all true twin flames have to spend time away from each other to heal properly, which is what the last film in that series is about. And then you can return to one another when you've done the healing. And I just said that 1804 roughly, and 1804, as we know if you're around here all the time, is the Four of Wands. The whole combination adds up to the Four of Wands, and it happens to be my birthday as well, guys, but that is just the code. So, the way that the witches tell me. So, there's nothing good here for you anymore. As difficult as it may feel, consider the grace of the gazelle exudes as it flees the scene with great speed and alacrity. I don't know, I read that before and I could, wait a minute, I'm going to Google it. When I read that before, because I read it, so that'd be oh my god, I didn't actually check, but this will be interesting if, because I read this on the live, but I didn't actually, good, there's only a couple of people that commented anyway, and I didn't check to see, but I know that I did pull this, so, wait a minute. Even if you haven't picked the same one, it's just interesting that it's come out again. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, Allah, pretty, and also yeah, brisker cheerfulness. So basically, it's like, look, flees the scene with great speed and cheer. So it's like whoever I'm speaking to, this must be like somebody's ready to leave a situation. So there, I'd imagine there is some sadness too, whatever this is about, whether it's love, friends, family, but there's some sort of like relief to be getting out of this, whatever this is about. Even in the face of danger or defeat, the gazelle exudes confidence in its ability to bring itself somewhere new. There is wisdom in this energy for you too. 84 and 85, so this could really be speaking to the twin flames that are 1984 and 1985 especially, but just disregard that if you're older or younger. Should you choose to ignore this card, it's likely that things will get progressively worse. And I mean, at Scorpio full moon, yeah, it does illuminate all the darkness. And I definitely do. So that's why I always say, like, look, I'd rather be somebody's cup of tea than everybody's shot of whiskey. Like, I'm not for everyone, because I'm very honest. And today, I'm in a really fierce energy, because I've just, like I said, I've just moved through hell. Like, quite literally. I do feel like I've come out the other side of hell. I knew it was going to be rough, and it was just... And it's hard to describe what I mean, really. It's just all the things that... It's just... feeling everybody's everything. That's what that's like for me, and I'm just glad that I'm through it. And it's kind of like I feel that's where many of us. So they're not letting me move away from this. So I'm going with many of us divine feminines that are at the bit that I'm at. It's kind of like, it's not like, oh, I don't care what kind of darkness is going to be coming my way, or what things are going to hear that I'm not going to like. It's kind of like, it's just a case of actually just wanting to know what the real truth is now. And it just reached 21 minutes when I said that. So 21 is the end, a karmic cycle. And remember, this card is the end, and with the flames numbers. So I do feel that with these wee signs coming in, it's like, it's time for the divine feminine and the divine masculine, all the ones that are at this part of it, to face their shadow, face one another, face the truth. Yeah. Should you choose to ignore this card, it's likely that things will get progressively worse. Yeah, so you can't run from it. It's like Peter, but you can't run from your shadow. It's also likely that a part of you already knows whatever this card is pointing to isn't serving you anymore. So again, remember, just because I feel that's when people can panic when it is talking about an end of your twin flame. This can be the ending of a karmic cycle with your twin flame. And now I know, although, like I say all the time, I don't like when they make me home in too much on my own stuff, although they've definitely done that today with funny and not so funny bits. It's I always do that on a Scorpio moon, so I just accept it, right, that's what happens, because we're both so Plutonian, both Scorpio. I absolutely have been in a karmic cycle with my twin flame, but at no point have I ever thought, oh, he's not my twin. He 100% definitely is my twin flame, which has been interesting at certain points when you're like, but why would I do that to me? Do you know what I mean? But it's kind of like, but it's anyway, just, yeah, moving on. So, it's likely that things will, yeah, wait, I just read that bit. It's also likely that a part of you already knows whatever this card's point isn't serving you anymore. Release fear, recognise that the universe is quite fond of a vacuum. As soon as the space the situation was taken up is cleared out, something bigger and better will come and take its place. So again, release holding on to your twin flame in the toxic way. Like, you know, if you're panicky, kind of holding on to someone because you don't want to lose them, let them go. I've always said about my twin flame journey, I think even before I was really sort of homing in on it being a twin flame journey, I'd already knew about twin flames, but you know what I mean? It's like I used to say, yeah, it's like a bird in a cage, like, you know, let the bird fly free, and if the bird is meant to come back, they will, like, leave the cage door open, like that kind of quote. And what I found really moving was that there's a part in the last after film there where there is a set of keys with a bird cage and the bird flying out the cage. So there could be something here about people feeling trapped in a mindset or situation, or feeling free, any of these kind of analogies. But the other thing they pulled my eyes to was there's a card that says, may you wake up with a smile every day. So I do feel that's God saying that if you have the courage, if you've already if this is talking about the past, then you'll know. If this is talking about the present or the future, when you walk away from the situation, God wants you to wake up with a smile every day with your person. That's what I'm getting. Or just being in a healthy situation, healing before you're with your twin flame. So like I said, just that's like as fucking clear as mud. But I just, when I said twin flame, it's 1331, so mirrored numbers. It's yeah, there's something here about whether that's walking away from a karmic situation to heal and then be it with a twin flame, or end a karmic situation with a twin flame to heal, to then be with the same person but in a healthier way. That's absolutely what those after films are about. So that's clever how they made me watch them last night. Because I did kind of, I was like, oh fuck, I don't know if I can be arsed with this. I started watching them at midnight, so I stopped at like 4 in the morning. So I'm tired today, but like I said, I've still got loads of energy. It's weird, but it's because it's like, they're so intense. I find it therapeutic. So, but I probably wouldn't watch any of them now for like, I don't think I'll watch them again. I don't know, because I've seen it now 3 times. but they are addictive. Like, I'm just going to say they are. They are. And it was actually, to be fair, it was because my best pal was here on my birthday and she wanted to watch the first one because she hadn't seen it. So, right, so if change is something you resist or maybe even downright fear, now would be an excellent time to explore why. Often this fear is linked to one's definition of safety, stability, and comfort. Trying to find a balance between the necessary growth that only comes from pushing ourselves outside our comfort zone, the need to feel safe can be an arduous task. However, as we grow, change, and evolve, so do our comfort zones. Consider the changes in your life that felt scary at first, but which you are now grateful for. Then consider that this moment could be one of those catalysts too. It's kind of like, right, this is a really weird example, and I can't, this is why I don't like giving these examples, because I can only say from my side of it, but my sense is, when I was younger, right, and I kept hooking up with my twin flame casually, obviously I loved doing it. I loved doing that, he loved doing that. It felt like you were still free, but you were still, from my point of view, you were, my throat chakra went a bit funny there. Although I wouldn't have called it being in love at the time, I loved seeing him. He was addictive, right? And I'm pretty sure he would say the same about me. But it was getting unhealthy because we weren't talking about any kind of feelings that were definitely going on, and it just wasn't bad. So blah blah blah, all that kind of shit. So, but it's kind of like, if I had just carried that on, like, well, not forever, but like, who knows, like, you know what I mean, like, it's because it was like, that's the thing that is, what is it, it was me that put a stop to it, basically. Do you know what I mean? Because I had caught feelings, so I didn't put a stop to it because I didn't like him. I put a stop to him because I really liked him. And but then it's kind of, it depends on who you look at, because then it felt like he put a stop to it, because rather than, like, it makes me laugh when I hear other people sometimes say, no, friend zoned, because it was like, I didn't even get friend zoned, like, mine just totally cut me out, like, you know, now you're just somebody that I used to know. It was like we just weren't anything to each other. So that's what was pretty horrible, you know what I mean? Um, but I do understand why he done that, and it is because, but I'm not excusing it, to be honest, but it's kind of like, it was just the way it had to be with me and him, because it's so intense. But yeah, we literally did go from being really close to like acting like strangers when we saw each other in the same place, kind of thing. So it's quite a weird one. But me and him get it. It's intense. So it'll be very, very intense, and we do have a proper conversation about this. Other people found it weird to observe, though, I know that much. Because they could see, they could see that there was still like major chemistry. If change is something, yeah, I just read that bit. Okay, so anyway, went deep into that, but that'll be helpful to some people. So moving on. So the point is, my point in that last bit was, like, imagine if we had like been in that scenario for like 20 years. Like, that could, I bet you, sorry to laugh, because I'm not being funny. Some people some people out there will be like that. Like, I can actually think of people where it's like, you've had a friends with benefits for far too long, because we were, I'm not going to say exactly how long we were in that, so, but it was, well, I have before. It was a long time, but it was a different time back then. But I think, that, God, I'm like getting that passion, I could just spat in the cars. But it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's, spit it out, though. It's time to spit it out. It's time to spit out the truth, spit out how you feel. That's really interesting. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just, God, I'm saying it was a different time. It's more unhealthy now, but I don't know what the fucking kids get on with. I don't know what goes on now. You can let me know if you want to, if you're in a situation shit. But all I know is, thank God that my young soul, my old soul that was in a young soul at the time, as addictive as it was hooking up with him, and as painful as it was to, when he was contacting me, and again, like I said, because that will trigger the fuck out of him, because it makes it sound like he was like chasing after me all the time. He wasn't. He done it for a few weeks. He did, which is a lot for him, by the way. Like, but he did just do what, just do what we usually do, just contact. And I was just like, like, no, I can't, like, I can't, like, but I don't even think I could say, like, because I want more. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, so I can sometimes, I can acknowledge that that was lost in translation. But like I always say, then I'll just take it that it doesn't really matter, because we're twin flames and we're always meant to be apart. So, you know what I mean? It just had to happen that way. Let's move on, because this is getting too intense. Goose. So, the point of me going into all of that, but it will have meaning for other people, is that it's complicated. When feelings get involved, it's complicated, as we all know. And I need to find. I need to pause this and find the. That's really funny. Of course, it's page 18 when I'm bearing my soul in a Scorpio full moon, and I'm the 18th, and it's the moon, and that's secrets. So that's quite funny. But these are no secrets, because I've shared all this shit before. Oh look, the next one after that is the one that's hope, optimism, last steps on a journey, trust. So if you chose C, but all of that will be meaningful. So anyway, so if you chose C and you're wondering what I'm on about, you can watch B. Meaning a warning. If you've ever crossed paths with a goose, you've likely experienced or seen an absolute ferocity at work. A threatened goose will honk loudly, hiss, and even chase somebody down if they've moved too far into the goose's territory. Despite their regal appearance, they are not to be trifled with. To pull this card is to receive a warning. You're in dangerous territory and it's time to check yourself. Ooh. If we're being honest, this card shouldn't come as much of a surprise. You've likely known the entire time that you're doing something you probably shouldn't. Maybe there's something taboo about the circumstances that made it feel fun, exciting, and new. Oh, this feels like a real shadowy card. We all enjoy being naughty from time to time. Maybe you've wandered here innocently and now find yourself in a bad situation. I know what that sounded like. That sounded like things to do, like cheating, or if it's not cheating, it's like, yeah, just things that are shady, like, you know, that's being disloyal, or something like that. Might not be, that's what's feeling like. Regardless, you're on the verge of being found out. Oh, fuck yeah. So, again, I've never read this before, so heed the warning of this card and take a step back. If there's a corrective action you can take, now is the time. If not, do your best to remove yourself from the situation before you or anyone else gets hurt. So, again, if this is a past situation, well, the deed's been done, you've done the dirty, whatever, that's what it sounded like, or you've done somebody wrong, or somebody's done you wrong. I mean, this is what could have been done to you, who knows. But yeah, so if it's in the past, but if it's presently going on, there's a warning, you know, if that's speaking to anyone. Or if it's future, just be keeping your wits about you. They really went in there, and I can feel it in my solar plexus. It's giving me a sore stomach, so that's causing somebody a lot of worry that something's going to get out or something. And I didn't like, you know what I mean? I pulled these other day, and I didn't actually I didn't read the things until now. So, but this is very in line with what 33, oh my God, 33 minutes, Jesus forgiveness. But this is very in line with all the cards that keep coming out. And this is the kind of stuff that comes out of Scorpio full moon, is the darkness. And I can't believe that it's actually going to be 144 as I'm saying this. So how this is so divinely timed. So these are really deep messages, but and particularly when I was channeling all the stuff at this card, that was really like, that was me speaking from my Saturn and Scorpio and my Mars and Scorpio, like having to be really strictly disciplined with myself with something that was extremely addictive, but would have hurt us both in the long run if I'd let that continue. Because, like I said, it had to be me that put that to an end, because he would have just hooked up to me. He would have just kept hooking up with me when it suited him. Do you know what I mean? So, and not in a horrible way, because he likes me, but also it isn't. You know, that's not healthy. Like it wouldn't be fair. So anyway, it's now. Oh no, it's not 144. It's 141. Well, a variation of it. So. Maybe you've wondered here in it, right? Regardless, you're on the verge of being found out. Heed the warning of this card and take a step back. If there's corrective action you can take, now's the time. If not, do your best to remove yourself from the situation before you or anyone else gets hurt. But like I said, if things have already been going on there, if that's speaking to you, then it's too late. But I suppose it would be about apologies and stuff like that. But there's something, I think if there is dark secrets, it's about fessing up where you need to. I think before other people get to your person. So there's something like that going on. When things come to a head, if you're still around, it's likely you'll be met with unbridled ferocity of a territorial goose. Ooh. there's a lot of hot debate over whether morality is objective or subjective. And that's what I meant by when it comes to things that are like disloyal or your morals and values, that can be hazy because everybody's got different morals and values. You know what I mean? It's like that whole kind of thing. Like if you haven't got a label on it, and it's like often when I was younger, it's like, oh well, you know, you're not going out with them, so it's a free for all. But there are certain lines that you can cross. So I think it maybe got something to do with things like that. But this could be speaking to people that you could be in an actual relationship and somebody stepped outside the relationship or somebody's crossed the lines. It did just sound like that. Or this could also be just be aware, you know, twin flames, like this could be like divine feminines, like this could be masculines that come to you, but they've not closed out other cycles. So, you know, you've got to be careful there as well. So whatever that's all going to speak to people about. So what we think is okay or good or fair or right lightly varies from others, from what others perceive. That's so crazy because like I'd already said it with my stories, and then back again, it's because God speaks through me and knew what stories for me to tell. Sometimes it can be difficult to know where the line is between your desires, your life, and someone else's. And there's definitely, if you've got strong Pluto and Scorpio, people, if you've not got any self-control or discipline around you, that is when people they'll, especially when drink's involved in that, you'll give in and you'll self-sabotage. But these are like the kind of stories that I've said before about, that's when people cross the line, they take it too far and self-sabotage, and then, well, definitely after a week, and then they can be like, what the fuck have I done? So clearly that's picking up on that kind of shit too. It can be a delicate balancing act. If you've engaged in a scenario in which the issue of right versus wrong feels murky, guilting and shaming yourself will only make the answer more elusive. Instead, think of the adage, treat others how you'd like to be treated. Put yourself in their shoes. How would you feel on the other side? So yeah, so, you know, only you're going to know if that's you that's done something like that to another, or maybe not done something, but like an act you've taken, you know, that's really going to upset somebody when they find out. Whether that's twin flames hooking up, or like a divine masculine hooking up with somebody that is going to upset a divine feminine, or divine feminine hooking up with somebody that's going to upset a divine masculine, whatever all this is. I'm just trying to think, it could be anything else. I mean, it could be things that are not to do with like love, but I very much doubt it because it just reached 144. Like I was going to say, it could be like a friend betraying you, but it's more likely going to be like friends betraying you and then it's got something to do with love. That's all the kind of shit that it feels like. It actually feels very horrible, so let's tap the fuck out of it. So, but it happens, guys, right? So, Hermit. So like I said, that we've moved through it, or you might still be in it. I'll read it actually. So these are just the ones that I've, oh look, and I just opened it up at the page. Necessary withdrawal, introspection, exploration of the inner landscape, growth. So this is the one, the overall energy I pulled for the full moon. So some of you might still be here. The tiny hermit crab scuttles along the ocean floor, ready to strike out and explore the surrounding environment. Despite its name, this crustacean, oh, I don't know how to say that, isn't much of a hermit. That said, thanks to the trusty seashell home, this busybody knows it's time to retreat inside. When the energy of the hermit crab has arrived in a reading, a certain withdrawal from the outside world is imperative. So you might be like myself, you've already done it, or you might be fully in it now, in the thick of it. I think people are in the thick of it now, a lot of people, because usually that's what happens. I go through it first, even if it's a few days before, and then I can come back and be strong for others. This card is a call to explore our inner landscape in search of answers, rather than to search for them in an outside source. When we're grown, we often reach a milestone in our journey that requires us to take a step back and pose questions to ourselves. If we rely too heavily on the opinions of others, these influences can drown out our inner voice. To remain true to ourselves, a certain amount of alone time is required to let that voice have room to speak up. For those who commit to the spiritual journey in a serious way, the energy of this card probably feels familiar. As much as we can learn from others, the spiritual path is ultimately one we walk alone. That's reminded me when I was singing, we'll never walk alone. So maybe that loved one in spirit is wanting to just come in and give a wee sing through me there. So there you go, if that spoke to you. Carve out some time for yourself and see what wisdom rises to the surface. You might surprise yourself. We all possess the potential for spiritual gifts. Unlike in the movies, however, the messages we receive from spirit through these psychic senses are incredibly subtle or almost a whisper. Sometimes we're present enough to grab hold, and other times the messages pass us by. Many mediums and psychics know this and spend as much time as they can away from screens and countless distractions and noise of every day. Now's the time for you to learn the value of silence. When you cut out the static of everyone else, what inner wisdom and extrasensory experiences make themselves known? Just with it mentioning about movies again, one thing's occurring to me, so I'll just sort of put a note in the comments to be like, watch the whole thing, because there might be a message for you somewhere. There's a bit in that film where he actually knocks back a girl that tries to kiss him. So there could be a scenario like, so as well as like, definitely with that third one, things have went on. With that one, people have crossed the line and their guilt is eating them up. So whether this was long in the past or not so long in the past, that's definitely what the third one's about, right? Or it's a warning not to cross the line, but I feel that's past up. Like it's already happened is what I mean, whether it wasn't that long or not. And the and now they're flashing up when she tries to kiss him and he knocks her back because he's like, look, I'm still in love with her, but even if she's not in love with me, I'm in love with her and I want to work on myself for her. But the girl that actually tries to kiss him, like, look, she is absolutely beautiful and a beautiful person too, and she's just fallen because he's very lovable. So you know what I mean. So anyway, you need to see it to know what I mean. But there might be something in that. Like there might be something where nothing has happened, but somebody's tried to cross the line. So it's murky waters, you know, like it's because it's kind of like if that's like somebody's friend that has tried it on. So it's either going to be something like that, like, you know, maybe somebody's friend has like done something that's crossed the line, or it could be like people you've known from the past that have done it, and then it's just confirmation of why you're not friends anymore. But something like, so again, that doesn't need to be a girl trying on a guy. It could be like a guy trying on a girl. Like I say, this could be things that are long in the past, or it could be present. Kind of reminds me of when I've said before. Again, this is really shady, but I mean, it's from when I was really young. But I've said before when I had a boyfriend when I was really young, like several of his friends tried it on, and I'm not talking like in a small way. Like there was one night, like a guy got a taxi and he was basically like wanting to come in, and I was, and I was just kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? Because I thought I was literally, in fact, no, two. That's hilarious. Well, it's not hilarious. Believe me, I actually feel sick. Again, this is like ages ago, but what I'm saying is it's something like that. Like, because I'm actually thinking there's two separate times where it was like the friends, you know what I mean? So, and you could be like, oh, guys are like that, because guys are like that, but some women are like that too. So something like that, yeah, I don't know, but I do know, I can feel it. But it wasn't like that in the film, you know what I mean? So it could be like there's something that it's just, yeah, something like that. So just because it's when I was watching it, like it stood out to me, and they're saying it. So, the wolf is the other one that I don't know if I can be bothered reading it. The wolf, the devil, the snake. Even that's fucking saying something, isn't it? Yeah, look, trust your intuition. I never even thought about that one. Trust your intuition. Something toxic could have happened or is happening presently, and there's a snake in the grass. Oh my god. So again, this could be a past situation, or it could be presently, but just be really, that's not what these cards are about, but that's what that's looking like. But to lighten the darkness that's coming through here, this card is about something really amazing, surprising you and happening. And because I always say like your twin flame's like a unicorn, I do feel like this could be past situations where trust your intuition, something really toxic, a snake in the grass has happened here. Whether this is something dodgy that your twin flames basically done, or like a friend has done, or in some cases, let's face it, that could be like a twin flame and a friend, or a past friend, or something like that. I hope not, because that's the worst of the fucking betrayals, but these do happen. But it's like some kind of like goodness is going to come from this. Like something could happen in the past, and it's almost like somebody crossing the line, but it awakens them to the truth of what this is and how much something means to them. Right, okay. Right, so I don't really want to give that message, but some people need to hear it because it's going to be relevant. So we'll read unicorn last, because they pulled me a unicorn, but we'll read it last because that was a heavier message. But it's really interesting because when I done a video was it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the same thing came out, and it was the girl, it was the snake in the grass. No, it was girl with a snake came out on the card. So it's the same thing. So I think it's to do with pile 3. There's things that are, there's definitely dark situations that are either come to light or they're going to come to light, but it's not for everyone. So again, it's kind of like, wherever truth needs to be shared, it's we'll just share it, because it's better than something coming out later and then you losing something that's really, especially with something that happened ages ago, but some of this will be more recent. Where's the wolf? Wait a minute, I'm going to pause that. Right, it's worth noting as well that the Inception is on in my room there, and I can hear the music, and that's always my sign for a divine masculine waking up, because of the bit at the end when they're like, welcome back or welcome home, Mr. Whatever. So it's, and also because it's all about dreams and nightmares and that, it's like waking up from the dream, the nightmare, awakening. So intuition, silent observation, shadows. This is important because I pulled this on the shorts for today, for it was either for yesterday or today, but for this time. So intuition, silent observation, shadows, because although I just pulled out all of that, trust me, that will make sense to people for either long in the past or not so long in the past, or it's warnings about check out people around you, especially because we're sitting here looking at the devil and the snake. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound good. But it can also be like things aren't what you seem, because this card's about that. Like it could be like when I channeled about people going back to comfort zones from the past. So it doesn't necessarily need to be that people have been involved with people that but it's something like this. It's like some kind of secrets and stuff coming out. So wolves are nocturnal creatures moving stealthily through the night as they hunt and rest in throughout the day, except when calling their pack to alert them of a successful kill. Wolves are largely silent, watching and waiting for the perfect moment to make their move. A deep knowing through practice, observation, stillness enables their survival. I also feel that's about the masculines that are about to pounce, and so like in a good way. The appearance of the wolf in a reading is first and foremost a call to step into your intuition. You're amid something that isn't as it seems, and it is through listening to the intuitive knowing that the truth will make itself known. So again, it could be as well that some of you or your person could be doing this about you. Could be, kind of look at this as well. It could be like making up wild stories. And this is what I mean about, that's what I can find personally really challenging. It's so amazing that it's amazing that I can see crystal clearly for other people, but when it comes to myself, sometimes it can be hard to sift out what I'm being shown. Like, is it to give messages for the collective? Is that for me? Why am I being shown that? And I feel all this kind of stuff. But I have to get still and I have to ask God, and then I do get crystal clear clarity. It's just sometimes I don't want to, but sometimes I don't bother. But you know what I mean? It's just, so it is there. The answers are there if you want them. But just there's something here about not jumping to conclusions as well. Even if it turns out in the end that you are right, but I do feel there's things you could make up wild stories about things, and it's not what it seems. Like, for instance, oh yeah, because that's what they're saying. Like, for instance, that looks like a rabbit on the wall. That looks like a snake, but it's somebody's hand. It wasn't what it seemed. Oh, there you go. So I know that's clear as mud, as I like to say, but it's like some situations will be exactly what you feel and your intuition is right, and some situations are not what they seem, but it still not might be great. And some might be like nothing like that, and it's some kind of magic, and some might be a bit of all of it. You know what I mean? This could be a timeline. So, and good luck if, and not good luck, that doesn't exist, but like, lucky you if none of this applies to you at all. But I do feel it's coming out for a reason for many of us. It's like, it's like people's skeletons in the closet are coming out. That's what Scorpio full moon is about. This is a moment to pause, watch, and wait. Hold your cards close to your chest and take note of all that's revealed to you through silent observation. So yeah, the masculines are doing that, right? But feminines do that too. Like, trust your intuition and wait for more information, because Mercury is going retrograde. What day today is 24? Mercury is going, direct tomorrow. So information could start flooding in, truth could start flooding in as soon as tomorrow, or even today, or if this is real time. You will know when it's time to make your move, but it's important not to act until then. Remember that time reveals all. Also, it lands on 15. 15 is the devil card. That's the next card I'm about to read. So there is definitely shady stuff here. There's no disputing that. But what exactly it means to each person, that's what we don't know until we find out. So 42. Not a nice feeling, I know, but it's just that's the thing. So yeah, because look, right, that makes sense now. That this one is like someone could be dealing with things on their own that's nothing to do with like other people and stuff, you know what I mean, like healing trauma or addictions, right? So I'll read this. So addiction, this could be you. When I'm saying someone, this could be you that's dealing with this. So just whoever this is speaking to. Addiction, abuse, aggression, control. This is so Scorpio, and this is why I'm reading it, because it did come out in the shorts. Just like a few others in the deck, the devil is a special card representing more of a mystical creature or concept. Should the devil card appear in a reading, there's something sinister at play that requires total ruthless honesty on your end. But that's the thing that keeps coming through. Whatever all this is all about, whoever all these bits speak about, because I know none of it's read, it's not nice to channel either, because then even me channeling it, you start thinking, oh fuck, now what bits of this are for me? But it's kind of like, push that aside, and it's like, there's total honesty. I feel when this is about two twin flames, it's about total honesty is required on both ends about everything that you both need to know to be able to start again, even in a friendship, because otherwise there's no trust there. And that came through before. Because otherwise, even if things haven't went on, and this is not what it seems, you're always going to be thinking that about one another. So it's better you just get it all out. If things have happened, get it all out. When you know the truth, you know what you can deal with. If things stay lurking in the shadows, that's when problems arise. So that's my counsellor, healer, shaman, hypnotherapist, all that. That's my bit on it. And like I said, I'm very good at helping people with their love life because I've been doing it for more than 10 years. And specifically twin flames. So, and I help people that are not twin flames too, because obviously, like when I've helped friends and stuff in the past and still do. So this card's a call to get real about patterns, behaviours and cycles you're perpetuating that are unhealthy. Oh my god. So see how that ties into when I was saying all of that with one of the piles. That's crazy. This in a way is the very essence of shadow work. As a byproduct of life, each of us inevitably has at least a few ways in which we tend to self-sabotage. This is the moment to name them. Is it addiction, abuse, codependency, which is what I mentioned? Something else? How are you engaging and perpetuating this pattern now? This card isn't to poke at guilt and shame, nor to trigger any traumas. It is, however, a calling out. It's highly probable that you're already aware of these behaviours and know that they don't serve you. Even if there's comfort and familiarity, I spoke about that too. Continuing to sabotage yourself only holds you back from your true potential. If you're new, when I burp or hiccup, by the way, it's when I'm clearing energy, and I'm doing that right now because I clear a lot of Scorpio moon, so I'm surprised I haven't more on this. It may feel scary to let go, but it's time to change the narrative. What is the first step? Name it, write it down, take it. Power and control aren't always a bad thing. As humans, we often seek these things out after power and control has been taken from us. In essence, much of the occult path surrounds regaining empowerment, controlling our impulses and unhealthy behaviours to evolve and grow better into healthier, more capable people. That feels like that ties into whenever I was picking up on when people haven't controlled their desires and they've crossed the line, because that is the dark side of Pluto. It's like when you grow and evolve, you can only do better. You can only be better when you want to be better. So for whoever that applies to, whether you've done things like that in the past or presently, or whether it's been done to you, you know what I mean? It's about people grow and evolve and change. Pluto and Scorpio are both energies in astrology that deal with the masters of addiction, abuse, power and control. So does Saturn. And evolution, but you see, that's, you know, when it's saying that can be in a good way too. Like I've got Saturn in Scorpio and Mars in Scorpio, so that's why some people can feel me as being really strict, and believe me, nobody could feel that any more than my own twin flame, which does annoy me. But I know why from astrology, and I'm not going to explain it here, but I can explain it to him whenever he wants to hear what I mean by that. But it's the way that some of our planets join up. Without even knowing his chart, you know, I know, yeah, just from knowing when he's born, he could really feel that more, that he could feel the boundaries from me more than ever, even when it's like, even though I say all the time, like, look, you know, I'm always open to hear from mine, to have a conversation. It's like that he might not feel that, so it's good for me to just say that out loud, for anyone else that experiences that too. But Saturn is a good thing, you know, you do need to have boundaries, and that's why I'm so good at helping people. And on the twin flame journey, you absolutely need boundaries. If you're divine feminine, female or male, because I know there's a lot of male divine feminines that listen to me too, if you let your twin flame just act any old way they want, like, look, devil and snake here, and and you don't trust your intuition, then they'll shit all over you. You know what I mean? Like, and it's because you let them. So that does not the best of examples. You know what I mean? But I'm saying it's like they will take the piss because you're letting them. So don't let somebody treat you like that. And then guess what? They will stop hurting themselves, because when a twin flame hurts you, they're really hurting themselves. Cheesy, but it's true. We unfortunately circle back. Wait a minute, what did I read here? In evolutionary astrology, we look to all three energies in the chart to unpack long-standing trauma and karma we're reaping. Unfortunately, circle back to these same themes time and time again, each time learning something new. When channeled correctly, many of these unhealthy tendencies can transform into an unbreakable will, incredible power. How can you redirect this energy to better serve you? Yeah, so there you go. Like, actually, with what I channeled, it's going a bit deep, but the devil can be sex, and snake is sex, and it's also kundalini. At one point, I was definitely addicted to that with my own twin flame, and he was that with me, right? Because it is addictive. Twin flame is addictive. It just is, right? Your twin flame's addictive, full stop. Even if you're not having sex with it, but that's what we were doing primarily. It's kind of like to the point where I couldn't even tell you if I couldn't even tell you where he drinks tea or coffee. I really couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you his favourite sweet or anything. Or his favourite colour. I know none of this. I know none of it. And he knows, well, he will know all of it, actually, from when I talk in public. So whether he remembers or not, but that's really quite funny. But it's true. But because, so, and the point is at that point, I was ignoring my boundaried Saturn. And I was like, oh, shut up, Saturn. I'm in my Mars and Scorpio. And if you know, you know. Mars and Scorpio is the most, well, I'm telling you, Mars and Scorpio is the most sexual Mars sign you can get. So, I'm a bit of a walking contradiction, which is why I understand that my twin flame might find it really impossible to believe that I can restrain myself like that because of how passionate I am. You know what I mean? Like, I am a passionate person in my work and other areas. So, but I can, like, unless it's like my person, I don't care. And that's why I can have years of celibacy. So, right, so I'm not claiming the whole fucking, how long have we been in? 14 years of me consciously knowing, I've not been celibate the whole time, but for quite a lot of it I have. Right, so what was I going to read now? Oh, I've lost my snake. Let's read snake. I'll pause it. And this is important because I'm just laughing at me talking about sex so much, but it is because Scorpio is sex, so we can't escape it. So whatever. I'm sure it'll be fine to put out. This is important, right? Because they never let me say it, and I'm not meant to say it. It's true. But that's actually fascinating, what I just said. I'm going to be interested when I listen to that back. That's true. I was telling my Saturn to just shush and ignoring it when I was younger. And then, and I was just letting my Mars take over. Like, I was just in the addictive behaviour. And then like now I'm more in my Saturn, like I'm more well, actually I'm balanced, because it's like I have to be in my Saturn because he's no fucking here, do you know what I mean? But when he's in my life, it's like then I'll have it in balance, but by then it'd be healthy, otherwise he wouldn't be. Because basically, like I say with that, I don't want to hear from mine until he's ready to have a conversation with me about what we are. Even if that's having a conversation about being twin flames, but not ready to be anything serious to me, that's a fucking start. It's being honest, do you know what I mean? And then I would just have to make sure that I am in my Saturn rather than my Mars, or we're in trouble. But I'll cross that bridge when we come to it, guys, because we're not at it. So anyway, this is really funny because I'm about to read the snake and it's the Divine Feminine. And this is the card that came out for, I love how they've done this. This is the card that came out for Divine Masculine last night. So, but it'll still be very present for people. And it says at the end, say hello. So this is quite, so remember I said I feel this is the Divine Masculine really in their feels, okay? So regardless of your gender, like their Divine Feminine feelings are coming up to the surface. The Divine Feminine, a spiritual awakening, a healing. That's what this card means. The snake is one of the oldest known symbols of the goddess, and it has powerful correspondence in the occult. The snake is rich in meaning and revered in many cultures. And by the way, snake medicine is one of my main power animals because of all this Scorpio energy that I've got. And one of the most famous representations being that of the Kundalini, and also because of my link to Oracle of Delphi. So You know, and that's why I always say that about it's God speaking through me. So if you know all of that. Being that of a Kundalini, a snake goddess believed to be triggered at the start of a profound spiritual awakening. If the snake has graced your reading in its presence, it's likely you're undergoing this process now. Like some of you, literally, it could have been like this full moon could have been a catalyst for that, and I think so because I said that exactly 1 hour. So yeah, this actually, all of this is more. I wouldn't be surprised if people find this at some point. It doesn't matter if you're not on the twin flame journey, because remember, I didn't do like that. I just pulled a card. So this could literally just be helping some people with their love life, like that aren't a twin flame. So share it with the peoples. Right, okay, so just as a snake shedding its skin is a sure sign of growth. Oh, there's growth again. You may be experiencing old beliefs or versions of yourself falling away now. Recognise that this is a necessary part of your healing journey. Often after we've undergone a profoundly difficult or painful time, we emerge on the other side feeling as though we're a completely different person. And that's what I feel I've been channeling here. When I was talking about the real shady, toxic stuff, it's like this could be somebody's past. This could be quite a lot of people's pasts. Or it could have been, you know, more recent past, present as well. But it's like, and now that could be somebody going through it now, you know, purging it. So it really just depends on where you're at or where your person's at, or to fully embrace this new, authentic version of yourself, it is necessary to let fall away what must fall away to complete the process of integration. Shed the dead weight and welcome in this healthier version of yourself. I cannot believe how much that fits with everything that I said. It reminds me again, it's quite interesting, but it reminds me of Meet Joe Black when he goes over the bridge, right? And because he, you know, remember, he wants to take him with her, and remember, he's deaf in that film, so that would mean she would need to die. So that's very unfair. It's an extreme example, but it's quite funny because it's very Scorpio. I wondered when I was going to use that as an example. But it really you know what I mean? I was howling. I really did get the message. It's like you have to, like, basically, right? And then he comes back over the bridge, and I'm spoiling it here, so spoiler alert, Joe Black, but it's like click off now if you want to see it, but it's kind of like when he comes back over the bridge, he is the person that she met, right? The person that was lovely, the person that had an amazing conversation with, the higher self. So basically it's a really profound message. So if you see anyone else saying this, you can be like, hey, Crystal Clear Vision's got that download first, but it's true, like, you know what I mean? It's like when he goes over the bridge, that is the ego death, right? And then when he comes back over the bridge, that is the higher self, and that is why he then goes back to the person that she met before he died. Do you know what I mean? And people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? How's he coming back from the dead? It is a bit of a creepy analogy, but it's you'll get it if you've seen it. But it's basically that. It's like you have to let go of who you once knew within yourself and within your person to allow their higher self to cross the bridge. And that feels like to the new earth, you know. Deep shit, guys. Very Scorpio full moon. And that can be difficult. You think, well, of course I can let go of the toxicity of whatever there is about me or my person, but I don't think so. It's not so easy, and that's why I'm giving the examples of those after films, because they just are so in love. I mean, remember, they're young too, so this could be really apt for people that are younger, like for either when you were younger or if you're younger now watching this. It doesn't really have to end with age though, because some of us get stuck at a certain age, you know what I mean? Like it's, and that's happened to me too. And I still feel like that in a lot of ways, but other ways, like, you know, I moved on from where I was, because it's like one of them being when I moved away from a whole friendship group, it was for that reason, because it just felt like some people were stuck at a certain age and I didn't want to be that age anymore. You know, I wanted to, I don't want to say grow up because that sounds really cheeky, but you know what I mean? I did. I don't want to be going out partying, getting drunk, too drunk all the time and waking up feeling depressed, like, you know what I mean? But some people still do want to do that. It doesn't mean you can't have a drink now and again if you want to, but like I said, more often than not, I don't want to. But I've got the choice, you know, it's not got a hold over me, and the devil's still sitting there, so it's addiction. If you can't give something up, it's got a hold of you, it's got addiction. That's why I keep saying about YouTube as well. When I keep watching videos and I'm out of boredom, which I'm now not doing, like I've actually successfully, that's what this full moon's, I've successfully untangled myself from that, and I know that I've mastered it because, like I said, these are the Pluto cards, Pluto real Scorpio. I've got Pluto and Scorpio. I can get like that about YouTube. So the fact that I've managed to get through a Scorpio full moon, and I actually had like a whole 24 hours away from it at one point, like, you know, brilliant. Well, not unless you include, you know, posting on here, but like I said, I don't count that because this is my work. It does you the world the good. You know you're not being held up by anything. So, just as it, yeah, I read that bit, didn't I? It's necessary, shed the dead weight and become this healthier version of yourself. The snake may also be a sign that the goddess, the divine feminine, is calling out to you to say hello. So I feel that's a significant sign that yesterday, on the build up to the full moon, and today being the actual full moon, you know, officially, the divine feminine in you, if you're the divine masculine, is really surfacing, like your feelings. That could be a lot of trauma, a lot of pain. So be kind to yourself, rest, integrate. Basically, it's integrate your shadow, don't run away from it. But this could be like an extra sort of nudge for people that are that bit. Like, the divine feminine is calling out to you, say hello. Like, it's like an invite to say hello to your divine feminine. So, point out the obvious here, but it is staring me in the face. So, last but not least, let's read the unicorn to transmute all the, to transmute the devil, see what I mean? Like, to transmute, because there was some dark shit in this, but we can't run away, you know, because if you turn your eyes, if you turn away from what hurts you, you could get really hurt, you know, when you're not paying attention to how people can pull the wool over your eyes, then that's when you can get caught up with narcissists and, or if it's not narcissists, people being, you know, not having narcissistic tendencies or gaslighting or controlling or trying to make, basically that's gaslighting, trying to make you think you're wrong about something when you could be right, you know, about stuff that isn't right. So we can't be letting anybody get away with that shit. And if you're having issues with that, come book a session, because that's what I'm good at. So, and I'm actually even thinking about something that's something to do with love. I'm thinking about a session that I had with someone, again, keeping anonymous, but it was actually something to do with work. And I spoke about this before, because, you know what I mean, it's anonymous, but when I was on the set, and it was the first, so you'll know if this is you listening, but this person has Pluto and Scorpio too, but it was, I could just tell that person's really lovely, right? And they were telling me what happened, and now I'm being drawn to the abundance card, interesting. And it's basically like the people that were working with that person, where it could see how specialised and how good they were at their work. So it's like they were trying to gaslight the person a bit, that they didn't need them, but they really did. And it was like, basically, I felt they were trying to sort of steal the person's ideas a bit, or it was just interesting. But whatever it was maybe not exactly that, but it was something like that. And when I described it, and I remember I just met this person, they were flabbergasted, because they were like, you've just clarified and described exactly what happened. But it's like that person was gaslighting themselves a bit, that it was that bad. But it was exactly, it was what I'd said, because I can pick up on stuff like that. So that's, if you feel like there's any shady stuff like that, just let people know. So let's read the unicorn and be done. Unicorn, meaning synchronicity, magic, something special. The mythical unicorn is a special creature appearing across tales of magic in hundreds of years. There are those who believe unicorns may have existed at one time, and those who know the true essence of the unicorn can only be captured in their hearts. Should the mystical unicorn card turn up in a pool, something special is happening in your life, and it's time to pay attention to synchronicities and magic all around. The universe is constantly sending us messages. For those who are on the spiritual path, you're probably familiar with the idea of synchronicities, the aligning of things that confirm we're on the right path or answer a question we have. Popular synchronicities include things like angel numbers, repeating numbers such as 444 or 777, full body goosebumps, reading or hearing something that is exactly what we need, and so on. With the unicorn's arrival, you maybe have been experiencing a lot of these lately, and like I say all the time, if you didn't experience a lot of that lately, or you're walking around with your eyes shut, but it's kind of like, no, like you might, like I said, this might be the catalyst for some people's spiritual awakening, and then all this magical stuff starts happening to you. And if you found here, it's going to happen a lot more, because I'm a catalyst for signs, synchronicities, and serendipity. However, it is possible that you know you're onto something big, which may even feel like a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Pay special attention to the world around you now, and take advantage of this unique and beautiful energy to birth something significant. So again, I feel this is birthing something special and significant after a shitload of darkness, especially if this is your whole story. But it won't be, it's bits and bobs sort of stuff. The implications of this moment will reach further than you know. Research the meaning behind angel numbers, research numerology, research whatever it is you feel drawn to, consider how the energy could be of use to you. Further than that, engage in childlike wonder and awe of splendour at all. So up to you, but I feel it's, do something magical for your inner child, or go inwards, you know, you pick where you're at, or maybe you need to do a bit of both. Like I've done a bit of both. I've hermited, and now I feel like I've hermited enough that I want to do something playful and nice. And like when I'm in that mode, the curtains are shut and I'm in my bed, right? Or at least the curtains are shut. But today I'm like, nah, the curtains are wide open, and I'm about to go and text the handyman to see where the fuck he is, because I really do think he has forgot. So that is so funny, because that is, I mean, it's not funny because I want my bath, but it's going to be, I might have to settle for a shower. And I'm grateful that I've got, you know, a shower that I can get the hot water. But it's kind of like, I don't know why I'm shuffling again. The point is, I just shuffled in pigeon. There's a message coming. I won't bother reading it. But, yeah, the thing, there's definitely something, it's like, look, 2 cups. It's like, it's symbolic of somebody forgot all about this true love. Because somebody forgot all about you. They went to sleep. They spiritually went to sleep. But now they remember. Oh, they remember true love. Or they will. And I'll leave it at that, because it's about to reach 111. I'm going to wait until it reaches 111. New beginnings in alignment. I'm not using that as a thumbnail because I've used it a few times. But yeah, see you later.